Hello everyone. Today's lesson is focusing on writing. Today we are going to learn how to write an account of a true event. I hope the guidelines and the notes and explanation in this video will help you to write better. Now, what is an account? Well, an account can be many things, such as a story, like if you give a friend an account of what happened at the party she missed, or an accident that you saw, or something that happened to you personally, okay? And you're going to tell it to someone else. That is an account. An account can also be a narrative or a story. A biography, for example, is an account of someone's life. Okay, let's look at some guidelines. Okay, first, you have to read and understand the question and notes. Okay, when you have the question in front of you, you have to look and see what is the requirement of the question. Okay, next, you have to plan your story and arrange your ideas in the correct sequence. Now, in order to do that, you need to have a plot. Okay, so you need to plan what is going to happen at the beginning, what you are going to include in your story, and what is going to happen at the end. Now, in an account, you also use the first person I or we. Okay, the first person is the person who's going to tell the story. Next, try and make your recount realistic. Now, in order to do this, you can use expressions and idioms, okay, and also use personal experience to make your story sound real. Okay, now the best way to do this is to share something you have either seen personally or read or heard about. Next, use linking words or phrases to indicate the time and sequence of events. Okay, for example, you can use before, after, soon after this, in a few minutes, later. Okay, this is all used to indicate the time. Okay, use dialogue or direct speech when necessary. Okay, this is to make the story sound exciting and engaging for the readers because there is some conversation between the characters. You can also vary the length of your sentences. There should be a good mixture of simple, complex, and compound sentences so that your story does not sound monotonous. Next, use the past tenses, past simple, past continuous, or past perfect. Okay, remember you are telling about something that has already taken place. Okay, next, use expressions or idioms like I jumped out of my skin to indicate that you were very surprised, or in the blink of an eye, that shows that it happened very quickly, or my heart was in my mouth. Okay, to show that you were scared. All right, so all these expressions will make your essay sound interesting. Okay, what do we do first? We have to have a plan. When writing a story, narrate events according to the plan below. Now, you all know this. We always start with an introduction. Now, what do you include in your introduction? You can describe the setting of the story, which means you can describe the time, the place, the weather, the background of the story. All right? And in your introduction, you can also introduce the main character. Okay? Or it can be main characters. So there can be more than one character. Maybe it is a pair of siblings. Okay? So you introduce the main character or characters with a little bit of background to the story. All right, so this is the beginning of your story, beginning of your account. The next part of your plan is the content. Now, you can divide your content into 2 or 3 paragraphs. You may even write more. Now, in this part, you will mention what happened, what the characters did, saw, heard, said, and how they felt. okay, and any other actions. You will also add other details or ideas to make the recount or the narrative realistic. To add more information and details to your story, you can use the WH questions to guide you. So what do I mean by that? Okay, the questions will provide an outline or give you an idea of what to write. Okay, let's look at the questions. So you can say what happened. Okay, what happened in the story? Was it an accident? Was it something you saw? Was it funny? Was it interesting? Where did it happen? Okay, the place. Who were involved? You will name the characters. Why did it happen? Is there a reason? How did you feel? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you annoyed? And what happened in the end? Finally, in your plan, there should always be a conclusion. Now, what do you include in your conclusion? You can describe what happened in the end, the resolution of your story, and even make a short comment, or even share your idea or suggestion or your feelings about something that happened in the story. Now, let's look at one example. The title is A Kidnapping Attempt. This is the introduction to the account, and this is paragraph 1. One day, I went to the supermarket with my mother. On the way, my mother stopped at a petrol station. While I was using the public toilet there, I overheard two men talking. Now, as you can see, in this part of the story, okay, the characters are introduced. The narrator, I, and mother. Okay, and also another two who are not the main characters, the two men who were talking. Besides that, there is also the setting, which is a petrol station. So this is the introduction to your story, and this will bring you to the content. Now let's look at the content of your story. So this is paragraph 2. I could not believe my ears. The two men were plotting to kidnap a rich man's son. I knew who they were talking about because the rich man lives in a huge bungalow near my house. In fact, I remember seeing the child's nanny taking the child to the park close to my house every day. Okay, so this paragraph gives the rising action to the story, leading to the climax. Okay, there are events that are taking place in the story. Next, let's look at paragraph 3. I waited until I was sure the men had left the toilet. Then I quickly rushed to the car and told my mother what I had heard. My mother decided to go to the police station where we reported the matter. Now remember, I mentioned in the guideline that we need to use past tense when we write the narrative. So let's look at some examples in this paragraph. Waited, rushed, had heard, decided, reported. Okay, so this story is in the past tense. Right? Next, we will look at the next paragraph. Within a few minutes, a few policemen went to the park. They waited behind the bushes and caught the two men in the act. Now, this is the climax of the story. Okay, when the two men were caught in the act. Now, when you say someone was caught in the act, that means someone was caught while doing the action. Okay, so this incident is the climax of the story, and it ends what is the problem in the story. So next will be the conclusion. Finally, we come to paragraph 5, which is the conclusion. Now remember, I had pointed out earlier that you can write more than 5 paragraphs. Okay, and the last paragraph will be your conclusion. So here, The rich man was so grateful for saving his son and gave me a handsome reward. I was happy I could do a good deed and help someone. Now, you can conclude your story and give a resolution to your story. And like I said, you can also talk about how you felt. So, the narrator was happy. Okay, that the narrator could do a good deed and help someone. So, you can share your feelings or even give suggestion in the conclusion. For Form 4 students, let's look at page 73 of the FullBlast Plus 4 textbook. Please read the essay on that page and note the interesting and new vocabulary that you can find. You will also learn to use strong adjectives for this particular lesson. Now, strong adjectives are very useful to make your writing more engaging and interesting for the readers. Now, you try. Think about a funny, embarrassing, scary, or annoying experience that you have had and write about it. Remember, you need to plan first before you start writing. Do an outline using the guidelines that I've given in this video and try to write a full essay for the question. Please remember to give a title for your essay. So good luck everyone. I hope you try to write an essay, okay, of an account using the guidelines that I've presented here in this video. Okay, you have to try and practice writing in English to improve your writing skill. So please do try, okay, and do not give up. All right, practice makes perfect. So thank you for watching again, and please do subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to get more interesting videos from me. So thank you again and see you in another lesson.